Christmas time! So this year, Warsaw has really outdone itself with its Christmas decorations. This is the first year that I'm living here in Warsaw during the holidays. Today we need to ask the question, is it really worth the hype, or is it just an overpriced cash grab? When I was living in Krakow, the Christmas market was also quite nice, but everybody always told me that the Christmas market in Warsaw was quite overrated. I'm happy to say that this year, Warsaw did a very good job with the decorations, but the Christmas markets are a little bit spread out and all over the place. The whole entire city is lit up from the old town to the main center right next to the Palace of Culture, which I think looks absolutely stunning. First off, if you go down to the old town, they have this really big tree and they decorated the whole entire main street. The problem is that for some reason, these lights are not lit. It's been like this for the last couple weeks since they've been setting it up. And it's so funny because you walk to the end of the main street and as soon as you go into Nowy Swiat, then all of the lights are on. But for some reason in the old town, it's like they forgot to pay their electric bill or something. None of these things are lit. Thankfully, they do have a version of the Christmas market, but it's just like a couple of blocks with some stalls. And if you go there, you can see people selling jewelry, you can see people selling gloves, you know, these really cool Slavic hats that I like a lot. They also have a lot of food. They have mulled wine, which is a staple for the Christmas time here, but it's only really just a couple of blocks. So if you're visiting Warsaw, it's nice to check out these areas. And if you go during the week, it's a lot less crowded than when I went on a Saturday and it was really crowded. It's a good place to go if you want to kind of check out some of the things that Poland has to offer, but I still don't think it's the best. So if you walk from this Christmas market area into the central square of the old town, you'll find that they set up these beautiful lights and there's an ice rink there. And this, I actually believe, is definitely worth the visit. I think they did a really good job setting up the lights. If you're into ice skating, I think that's a good place to do it. They also have a tree there that is beautifully lit up. And I think this is a really good place to enjoy mulled wine as well, because all of the stalls there pretty much sell the mulled wine. If you're brave, you can also get a shot of this special alcohol that they have. In my opinion, it made it a little bit too strong and the mulled wine ended up tasting like cough syrup, to be honest. I think the old town is worth it if you want to check out the ice rink, but until they turn on the lights in the rest of the main street, I think you could just skip this area. Now next to it, you can go to Nowy Swiat. Nowy Swiat is one of the big party streets here. They have a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, and during the weekend, they close off the streets so people can walk around and that place really gets popping. There's a lot of people. I think they did a really good job lighting up the streets. And the overall vibe of the street is extremely festive and just feels really good. So if you like going out, I highly recommend checking out Nowy Swiat, especially on the weekends. So this one I think is definitely worth the visit. So if you walk through Nowy Swiat, I highly recommend making your way to the central area right next to the Palace of Culture. And this, in my opinion, I think is by far the best area in terms of Christmas that they have here in Warsaw. I love the way that they lit up the palace. The palace normally has regular lights, but they lit it up with this green color that is very beautiful. And they also have some like smaller lights and some of the smaller like windows and stuff. So to me, the view with that and the new Ferris wheel that they added just for the holidays, to me, is like one of the most spectacular views ever. I actually think they should keep the Ferris wheel there. I think it looks pretty cool in the center like that and allows you to get a pretty good view of Warsaw. But this is where the main Christmas market is. They have a lot of stalls where kind of the same thing. You can do some shopping, you can buy some jewelry, you can buy some gloves. They have all kinds of food there. They also have the mulled wine there as well. Make sure to try to avoid the weekends because if you go on the weekends, that place gets incredibly packed, like to the point where you're like right shoulder to shoulder with everybody else. I think they could have actually made this area a lot bigger. I think the decorations are nice. The Ferris wheel is absolutely splendid. And they have like a DJ stage as well where they have people playing music. Overall, I do think it's definitely worth the hype just to be able to look at that view of the Palace of Culture and the Ferris wheel. This to me is absolutely stunning. And it's right next to all the stores that they have there. It's a nice big open area. I think the holidays in general here in Poland are great. If you are a foreigner living here, sometimes it can be depressing if you're not surrounded by family. But if you have some nice friends around you, I highly recommend visiting. While you are traveling, I highly recommend downloading an eSIM. This allows you to buy data in any country around the world. My preferred one is eSIM.io. Extremely easy to use. All you have to do is install the eSIM into your phone. You open the app and buy any plan that you want. And they usually have a lot of specials. Like right now, during Christmas, they have a 50% cash back on all purchases that you make. Right now they have a 5 gigabyte global plan for just $1.90. The more gigabytes that you buy, the cheaper that they become. And I love that they also have regional plans. So let's say you're traveling through all of Asia for a bit or all of Europe, you can just buy a plan for the region so you don't have to always buy a new SIM card everywhere that you go. Right now for Christmas, they are offering 50% cash back off all plans. And if you use the link that I use in the pinned comment or use my code WES5, you get a free $5 for using the app. You don't have to do anything, and to me, it's free money. So if you guys need an eSIM, I highly recommend downloading eSIM.io.